Okay, this is the boss move that I've been waiting for. Think about it. If you want a compact, high-performance phone today and you don't want to join the dark side, you've only got Galaxy S25 or the Galaxy S24 as options. But now, you've got this. A smaller, all-powerful flagship. It's not 6.9 inches, not 6.7 inches, not 6.4 inches, but 6.32 inches. The OnePlus 13s. First, let me give you a crash course. So it's got the flagship Snapdragon 8 Elite chip with internals that are really fast, a 6.32-inch ProXDR display, a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto, and a 32 megapixel front-facing camera. A surprisingly massive 5850 mAh battery with 80 watt fast charging. And you also get really fast downloads and transfers and reliable radio connections and a super smooth OxygenOS 15. And all of this for a price of 55,000 rupees. So great specs at a great price, but what's the catch? Because there is one, and that's why you gotta watch the whole video. But before we move on, I'm Karan, you're watching me on Movie Scrub, and that's the first time I've done that. Anyway, let's go. B-Roads. So I've been using this phone for about a month now, and I'm really not sure what to dislike about this phone. Flat display, flat sides, flat back. Honestly, it even looks more premium than the OnePlus 13. Very satisfying one-hand use, and it feels, much lighter and more comfortable in your pocket given that smaller size. And this green is probably the most premium tone of green that I've ever seen, and this is only exclusive to India. It has this silky matte texture at the back, and it's magical because, it refuses to pick up any fingerprints, and I can't stress upon this enough. By the way, you also get a matching case which has a very classy finish, and it's just super snug. Now, compared to the OnePlus 13, the 13s has two very obvious changes in it. First, you've got this new camera housing. It's not as protruding, and the position is perfect for gaming or even just watching videos, as it doesn't come in the way. Second, you've got this new shortcut button here instead of the alert slider. OnePlus is calling it the plus key, but you can basically configure it to do one of these options, and we'll talk about this later. Personally, I miss the alert slider. There's just something about a physical switch that just connects you more with the phone. Just like, Samsung had with its Galaxy Watch and the rotating bezel, but anyway, moving on. It's also really easy to use it when it's kept flat on the table, so you can type messages, scroll content, and it doesn't wobble as such. And with the case on, it becomes even more stable. Now, some other things, you've got a dual SIM tray, a USB 3 port, stereo speakers, and they're actually really good. I'm going to give you a demo for that. It's almost close to the iPhone, so hang tight. But I did say there is a catch, right? So first is that the display is protected using Gorilla Glass 7i and the back with Panda Glass. And second, this phone is IP65 rated for water and dust resistance. Now guys, they're not deal breakers because there is some protection. It's just not top-notch protection, and that's understandable because it's not asking for top-notch price. So I personally think it's a fair trade-off, but if you disagree, let me know in the comments, okay? Now there is another catch, okay? But we'll come to that. But let's just talk about the display first. It's the perfect size. It's bright and it works beautifully outdoors, without any issues. It plays Netflix titles in HDR. The colors look great, and you've got the option to increase the resolution as well, which is insanely sharp on a relatively smaller display like this one. The touch response is incredible. OxygenOS definitely plays its own role on making it feel very smooth, and that 120Hz LTPO panel, that display just feels super fluid. But seriously, it's a great looking display as you'd expect from a flagship level smartphone, and this one doesn't disappoint. And since I told you this has some seriously nice speakers, thought it might be best for you guys to hear it, which is near iPhone quality speakers, and it's one of the best.
See the New York signs.
And just like the display, the top-notch performance of this phone didn't surprise me at all. You've got Snapdragon 8 Elite, a super fast LPDDR5X RAM, and a blazing fast UFS 4 internal storage. It's the perfect recipe for a high-performance smartphone in 2025. But I had two doubts when it came to performance on this phone. First, can it deliver that high performance in a body that's so small? And can it sustain that high performance without getting hot? And so I thought, let's just run an Antutu benchmark test to see how much it can score and how hot can it get, while also comparing with phones that have the same chip but mostly larger sizes. And guys, I'm not kidding, it nearly touched the same performance levels at nearly the same or even lower temperatures than the ultra variants of some phones which should have ideally performed better given their larger size. Now, it can definitely sustain 120 FPS gaming for longer durations without getting hot at all. In fact, OnePlus claims 7 hours. You know what? Even if it's just 2 hours, I think it's great. Fun fact, the Galaxy S25 with the same chip, nearly the same size, cannot play 120 FPS. This one can. Now, let's also touch upon the battery life, and you're gonna be surprised. I've been able to make this phone go on for nearly 2 days without charging. Though I do admit that I did not have a whole lot of camera use through my days, but again, that's normal. Most days you're just using WhatsApp, watching shorts, scrolling your Instagram feed 100 times a day, checking emails, responding to work messages, listening to music, watching videos. I mean, you're more likely to take photos when you're out on a trip or when you're meeting friends and family, which isn't every day. So 2 days on a compact phone with Snapdragon 8 Elite, that's crazy. Also, it comes with its own 80-watt fast charger and takes less than an hour to charge fully, which is great. Okay, now let's touch upon the software. So obviously, it's got OxygenOS 15 based on Android 15, and OnePlus is promising 4 years of Android upgrades and 6 years of security updates, which is great. And let me tell you right away, this is the smoothest UI I've ever used for real. Things are incredibly and unbelievably fluid. Just the speed with which things open, switch, and just the response to touch is absolutely mind-blowing. And I did say that there's a plus key now instead of the alert slider, and it can be customized to do any of these actions that you see. You can set it to change sound profiles or any action that you do more of. Though I do wish it could do different things with, double press or long press and triple press. But this time around, there are a couple of new features and some very useful AI stuff. So firstly, you could swipe up with 3 fingers on any screen and have that stuff memorized and organized automatically in your phone. So if it's a conversation that's got some meeting info, a 3-finger swipe up just understands what's on screen and it'll create a calendar entry for you. You could swipe up on articles or a music track or a furniture idea, and all of this gets stored in the Mindspace app automatically, very nicely organized for you. And while there is real-time AI call translation, so you can speak to anyone around the world in your language, but there's something better on this, and it's called Voice Scribe. So let's say I'm on a WhatsApp call. I can record the entire conversation, have it completely transcribed for a quick reference, or even have it summarized. And if I'm speaking to someone in a language that I don't understand, it's going to give me subtitles in my language. Another thing that I thought was a really great feature is called AI Reframe. So if you suck at taking good shots, don't worry. So just go into the Photos app, select that photo, go to Edit and tap AI Editor and then AI Reframe. It just recomposes your photo and even suggests filters that might enhance your photo. And by the way, if you have a Windows or even a Mac, this phone can sync up beautifully. So you can download and install O+ Connect app and then have your phone and the files in it synced at all times with your laptop. Works really well. I mean, guys, it's OxygenOS, it's packed with features, but I just wanted to pinpoint on the new stuff, the stuff that I think could be useful. But I want to actually move on and talk about the camera, because that's one place where I think OnePlus could have done a better job with the 13s. Let me explain, but first, specs. So it's got a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 50 megapixel 2x telephoto, and a 32 megapixel selfie. And so no ultra wide, no macro, no 5x telephoto, not the most versatile camera setup for a flagship, but let's see what it can do with what it's got. And just for fun, we're going to compare it with the OnePlus 13R, the OnePlus 13, and even the Galaxy S25, just so we know where it stands. Let's go. So first, let's take a look at the OnePlus 13s samples only, and if you see, it's decent, I'd say. Captures good colors, close to natural. I also tried to capture skies and the greens because, those tend to be tricky, but I quite like the way it handled both. Skies, they felt natural, and even the green was captured well. No extra sharpening, generally speaking, but I think the dynamic range is something that can be improved. Because there were parts that lost details in the shadows, and that could have definitely been lifted up. Also, in some shots, I felt there was a bit of over-sharpening. Again, nothing that can't be fixed with an update, and hopefully OnePlus does that. But go ahead and download all these pictures, guys, from the link in the description, so you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. Coming to indoor pictures, I found these really good, maybe even better than the outdoor photos. Colors, white balance, highlights, exposures, all quite neatly balanced. Again, dynamic range is something that I think OnePlus can again work on at high level across all scenes, but in general, the indoor pictures came out nice. Now, I couldn't take a lot of portrait shots, but these were also just average. I did face slight issue to get the subject to be detected, but other than that, just about okay. Next are low light photos, and these were also quite nice. Decent details, very happy that I couldn't see any noise, so the processing seems to be quite on point here. Highlights balanced out, lights aren't too flared up anywhere, that's a good thing. The only thing I would say is that the details are something that could have been better, but overall, quite happy with the low light performance. Now, selfies from the front-facing 32 megapixel camera were damn nice though. Love the overall color balance, the skin tone, and I took most of these in portrait mode, so we could also test out the subject detection and the background blur capabilities, and I think all quite nice. I tried in different lighting situations and it seemed to do quite well overall. Now, there's a wide angle and a 1x zoom angle option that you can take your selfies in, and in low light, selfies are fine, but with some softness on your face and in the background. Now, I tried to compare it with the other OnePlus 13 series phones and I've got very mixed feelings. So in broad daylight, I think all did a decent job. Maybe the 13R and 13 did slightly better with dynamic range. Now here I felt the 13S did a pretty balanced job with keeping it vibrant yet natural. Same holds true here as well with the red, 13 being a bit too flat and 13R being a bit too vibrant. In low light, you'll definitely find the 13S closer to the OnePlus 13. It's definitely brighter and it handles white balance a bit better as well as exposes the photos, especially the highlights, better than 13R. But in general, the white balance approach of the 13S is a little closer to the 13R. In portraits too, when clicking pictures of objects, I did somehow feel that the 13R did a good job. It could latch on to the subject better and produce a more natural look. And finally, comparing it to the Galaxy S25. Honestly, I think they were very similar in terms of details, but just different in terms of color tones. The S25 has a more natural look and 13S has a more vibrant, contrasty look. Also, the S25 has a slight magenta tone while the 13S has a warmer, greener tone. So I also think in low light, the 13S was a bit brighter than the S25, but I think you could swing either way depending on your preference. But in terms of selfies, I definitely preferred the warmer and more vibrant look of the OnePlus 13S. Overall, it's not a bad camera, it's just not as flagship grade as I expected it to be. I mean, there are definitely some improvements that hopefully OnePlus will push out as updates to its, algorithms, but just something I felt could have been better. Anyway, before I move on to my final thoughts, which you might want to hear, let's also talk about the pricing and whatever offers we have right now running in India. So the 256GB variant will start at 54,999 and the 512GB variant at 59,999. But right now, there's a 5,000 off on SBI card, which makes this a killer phone at a killer price. But guys, honestly, camera performance aside, I really could not find anything that is not good about this phone. Top-notch performance, an incredible in-hand experience, that fingerprint-free, silky matte texture on the back, flagship display, unbelievable 2-day battery performance. I mean, this is easily the best compact flagship phone that you can get at this price. Now, obviously, if you want a similar experience but in a larger phone, then you've got the OnePlus 13. Slightly higher price point, better battery, better camera. But yeah, there you have it guys about the OnePlus 13S. If you guys still have any questions, thoughts, comments, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to discuss what you think about this phone. And if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel guys, hit that bell notification icon and mark all, really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.